Hello everyone. I am Dr. V. Mohan, Chairman of Dr. Mohan's Diabetes Specialty Center, and I've been doing this series of videos discussing on liver and metabolic abnormalities, particularly the relationship between diabetes and liver and diabetes. In this, the third of the series, I'm going to talk about diabetes and chronic liver disease. In fact, I'm going to do the opposite. So far, we talked about why you get NAFLD going on to chronic liver disease. In this video, I'm going to do the opposite and say, how does chronic liver disease lead to diabetes? Now, we know that once you pass that acute phase of the liver, where you just have some fatty deposition in the liver, and then it leads to hepatitis in the next stage, with what you call as NASH. The next stage, when progressive fibrosis sets in, is to lead to chronic liver disease or CLD. And one stage of that, I would say, is cirrhosis of the liver, the late stage of that. And some can actually go on further to develop hepatocellular carcinoma. So when you have chronic liver disease, then you can get diabetes due to chronic liver disease, because liver is the place where the glucose is stored as glycogen. Now, this glycogen storage gets affected because the liver is no longer able to store it, and therefore the glucose breakdown occurs. And there are multiple pathways by which the liver can actually lead to diabetes. In fact, it can also be associated with chronic inflammation. One of the common causes of chronic liver disease is a hepatitis C infection. So if you have a chronic hepatitis C infection, this is the commonest cause of chronic liver disease in India. Although apart from that, you have the NAFLD route, the fatty liver, also leading to chronic liver disease after many years of NAFLD and NASH. Now, one of the things you have to remember when you have what we call as hepatogenous diabetes, that means the liver producing diabetes, what you have to remember is that some of the common diagnostic tests that we use may not be very reliable. For example, if you have chronic liver disease, the HbA1c may come very low. Okay, so therefore, because it affects the RBC lifespan and so many things get affected to chronic liver disease, so a HbA1c test may not be reliable. Similarly, a fructosamine test may also not be reliable because your albumin level is going to go down in chronic liver disease. In fact, albumin globulin reversal can occur. So once that occurs, fructosamine is nothing but glycated albumin. So you're taking the coating of the albumin. So when your albumin level is low, it is not going to show the correct reading. So the best way to do it is still to do an oral glucose tolerance test. If you do the fasting and a 2 hour after glucose, then that can bring out the diabetes better. What about monitoring of the diabetes if you have hepatogenous diabetes or liver-induced diabetes? That's where the role of the self-monitoring of blood glucose comes in. So if you do SMBG regularly, you will be able to assess whether your diabetes is under control or not. But my favorite these days is what is called as CGM, or continuous glucose monitoring. You can wear a small patch on your hand, or there are other places where, depending on the machine that you're using, sensors can be put on your body which continuously monitors your glucose levels and therefore can tell you how good your sugar is under control. One of the points that you must remember in a hepatogenous diabetes or liver-induced diabetes is that because the glycogen stores are so much restricted in the liver, you are more prone to get hypoglycemia. So hypoglycemia is quite common. It can be quite severe in liver-induced diabetes. So when you talk about diabetes, we know it can come due to the pancreatic deficiency, insulin deficiency, or due to insulin resistance. But now you're talking of a completely new entity called hepatogenous diabetes. And always suspect that if somebody has chronic liver disease and develops diabetes. The other thing is that don't try to overcorrect these people, because if you try to overcorrect them, severe hypoglycemia can be a problem. Also, if you have chronic liver disease induced diabetes, avoid drugs which can affect the liver. There are medicines which can affect the liver, which work for diabetes also, and those drugs must be avoided. Very often, small dose of insulin is probably what is best for them. Sulfonylureas may be good, but you may get hypoglycemia with them. So the whole aspect of hepatogenous diabetes is that, number one, the diagnosis should be carefully made. Number two is that you should control the diabetes well using more frequent monitoring, SMBG and CGM if needed. And thirdly, you use the proper drugs to treat this. But all this is only if the liver disease becomes so acute. I would put it to you, why not prevent it? We know that these are factors which can be prevented. Visceral adiposity can be reduced, obesity can be reduced, overweight can be reduced. All the risk factors for both diabetes and liver disease can be reduced. And in early stages, this liver disease is eminently preventable and reversible. So if we do that, then this entity called as hepatogenous diabetes itself can be completely avoided. Thank you.